You know, when your teacher assigns a huge project that's due next week and it's a big deal, but you're not that worried because it's due next week and that is like so far away. And then every single day leading up to that deadline, you're actually not that stressed out because you're not working on the project yet because again, it's due so far away, like next week. Which means that you have nothing to worry about because there's no reason to start the project yet until, oh my gosh, it's due tomorrow. Yeah, I see you and I'm so glad you're here. Hi, I'm Katie Azevedo. I'm a private executive function coach who teaches students and professionals strategies to learn and work better. You can find me here, and here. And if you like what you see today, please give it a like, hit subscribe, leave a comment or a question in the comments, and let's get started. Now, while some level of procrastination is absolutely normal and harmless, procrastination that leads to chronic stress is dangerous and disruptive. Today, I am sharing an anti-procrastination secret of students who are not stressed out. Yes, there is such thing as a student who is not stressed out. And in most cases, it has to do with procrastination, as in they don't do it. Now, the truth is that at a fundamental level, we procrastinate to avoid pain. We avoid tasks that we know we need to do in order to avoid pain and shame and judgment and even reality. I have so many blogs and videos related to procrastination and full of anti-procrastination strategies that I will leave linked in the description box. I hope you find those helpful. The unfortunate truth, though, is that procrastinating to avoid pain only leads to more pain. When we procrastinate, we feel rushed and stressed and shameful and frustrated and exhausted, and our grades suffer too. So here is the anti-procrastination secret of students who are not stressed out. They work on assignments and projects and study on days when they technically don't have to. This is so important, and I'm gonna work really hard to put it in other words so that you really truly understand what I'm saying. The students who are the most academically successful and the least stressed out are those who chip away at long-term projects and essays and assignments well in advance. They are making progress on these things when nobody is looking, when the teacher isn't checking, when there is no assignment in Google Classroom saying, work on your essay. The top performing students with the least amount of stress are making progress on things when nobody is asking them to. Why? Because they're accepting the reality that these things are due at some point. The students who are top performing with the least amount of stress use no homework days or even light homework days to study for tests that are a week away, even though the teacher didn't specifically say to start studying yet. The students with the least amount of stress are reading the next chapter in their book for school because they know it's going to be assigned anyway. Does that make sense? Now you might be thinking like, no way, Katie, like people do not do this. You know what? Let me tell you another secret. Top students don't tell you they're doing this, but they are. Top students aren't walking around saying, I'm going to work on my history essay that's due in 2 weeks, but that's what they're doing. How do I know this? Because I work with students of all levels. I work with students who are in Ivy League schools, who are headed off to Ivy League schools, and I also work with students who are just trying not to fail out of their classes. Now, apart from significant learning disabilities or something like a debilitating depression or an anxiety, that's not what I'm talking about here. But with those exceptions, I am telling you that of the thousands of students that I have worked with over nearly 20 years, that's a lot of data that I collect. The key difference between the top performing students who are not stressed out and the lower performing students who are super stressed out is that the top performers work when they don't have to. Now, just to clarify, I am not saying that the top performing students love to do this. I'm not even saying that they like to, but they do it anyway because they have learned from the pain of procrastination. Many of us have been burned when we've procrastinated and haven't learned from it. Okay, so that's the key differentiator. We're all gonna procrastinate. Like, we're just human, I do it, right? But if we get burned over and over and over again and it's constantly kicking us in the butt, we have to learn. Right? And that's what the top performers do. They say, okay, well, the last 9 times I procrastinated, that didn't work out. It caused more pain in the end. Okay? These are the people who know that they can not want to do something and still do it. They are unrelated, my friend. Okay, our feelings and our actions, they do not always have to be connected, especially when it comes to doing the things that we need to do. Okay, we can really not want to do the assignment. We can really not want to, stay in that night and study for the test. And you're entitled to those feelings. We can feel that way. I'm not here to be like, but you should love to. Heck no. But you can do it anyway and then still have your feelings on the side. I know that sounds harsh, but that is the mentality. If you want something or you want the result of something, you want to come out on the other side of the work, you have to do the work. You have to think this way. The ability to acknowledge your emotional state, which is saying, I don't want to do this right now, and your desires, which is something like, I don't technically have to do this right now because it's not due, for a week, and still take action, is maturity. It's emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is 1,000,000,000%, that's a number, connected to grades, mindset, productivity, and procrastination. And I am not saying this is easy, but I'm telling you it is the secret of the top performing, non-stressed out students. Okay, so how can you use this anti-procrastination secret? Like, what's the strategy that you can walk away from this video with? Well, like I said, the key to avoiding the stress and pain of procrastination is to chip away at things over time, even when no one is looking. So for things like long-term projects, essays, or just, sort of multi-day assignments, that means breaking down those big projects into smaller steps. We call these micro tasks. I have a full tutorial, like a step-by-step of exactly how to do that. I will leave that linked below. As well as a free project management organizer. It's a PDF download. You can use it digitally. You can use it by printing it out. It's super helpful and it helps you apply the strategy that I teach you in the tutorial. You want to use spaced repetition to help you plan out spaced repetition. You can use my free study planner template. Yes, all of this stuff that I mentioned is in the description box. You know that by now. But this means that you want to look at a calendar and say, okay, what do I have coming up this week? When's the test? How many days do I have before the test? Which days can I fit in a short study session, 25 to 45 minutes? When am I going to study and what am I going to study? And you hold yourself accountable to that. Even if you don't want to, especially if you don't want to. If you don't like the situation that you're regularly finding yourself in, like stressed out and there's all this like urgency and everyone's like barking down your neck, why didn't you do this? Like, I'm running out of time. You have to do something different, right? We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Einstein literally calls that insanity. All right, so if you want to have a different result, we have to do something different. Want to have a different result, we have to do something different. And I'm just taking studying for an example. Like if you're always like cramming your study sessions, do something different. Tactically, what does that look like? It means looking at a calendar, saying, when do I get out of school? When are my pockets of free time? What is it that I have to study? What material am I gonna study on each day? And then sitting down and doing that, regardless of your feelings. For other assignments or things like readings, this looks like, looking at your syllabus or your learning management system and saying, okay, what's coming up the next week or the next few days? And what can I sort of low-key start right now? It's saying, okay, well, we were assigned, to read up to chapter 5 tonight, but I have some free time after dinner. Chapter 6 is probably gonna be assigned tomorrow, but tomorrow's a busy day. Okay, I'll read chapter 6 tonight. Now, was anybody asking you to read chapter 6 tonight? No. Was chapter 6 assigned tonight? No. But it's looking ahead and saying, okay, well, tomorrow's busy. I know I'm gonna have to read chapter 6 anyways. Do it on the night that you have some free time instead of panicking and trying to save it for the night that is actually assigned when you know you're busy. So I know this was kind of a quick video, but I truly hope you take it to heart and I truly hope it helps. Come back and watch it anytime you need a kick in the pants or send it to somebody who you think might also be stuck. And as always, thank you so much for watching.